Oof, this video really, it get me shaking a little bit because this topic is very green in the subconscious of everyone. Maybe not everyone, but it's everyone. Maybe the masses because it got catch on, It become widespread, mainstream. Now, let me ask you, when I titled this, what did you think? You probably think, oh, he's gonna say something like, karma, people believe, is a bitch. Whether people like karma, people say whatever you do come back to you, whether good or bad, right? But then you think about it, you go reverse. What is karma? Where does karma come from? Question that. Where did it come from? Do you know it? Have you done your research? Back in the day when I was a kid, I thought karma was if you've done so much bad that things just come bad happening. But you know that as a vibrational beings that we send frequency and then you attract things towards you, whatever your focus, good or bad. But to say karma is like it has a mind of its own, people think. But peculiarly, people have minds of their own. And that's today's, ladies and gentlemen. I will speak of karma. It's what you believe it to be, not what it truly is. Because oftentimes we think, what this, this topic triggered me, and it probably will trigger a lot of people because I did a clickbait kind of on my Instagram, and it got a lot of attention. I know it will. And I was thinking because of the interview that I have done with, a martial artist and a Tai Chi, and he said karma is a bitch. And it triggered me because I don't believe in karma is a bitch. Because I believe karma is what you think, karma is the laws of cause and effect. It's the laws of the laws of motion, reaction, and it's action and reaction. But karma does not originate what you think. It originated from India, if you actually do the research. And I held a book of Hinduism right here. And it said right here, it said that Hindu believe that very literally, as you sow, so shall you reap. But in Hinduism, there's no internal damnation. No being can have sown enough bad karma that in vast stretch of eternity, God can't find a way to bring that lost soul back into the light. That's a powerful word. Oftentimes people think God is a vengeful spirit. But as people dive into the spiritual world, people know that God is love, or the universe is love. But I believe that nature's laws just is. But if you think deeply enough, if you think why people say that, let me give you an example. It's perspective, it's perception of the person. And I give you something that I told this morning, and I did a book review on it. It's on Kung Fu. And back in boarding school, I haven't told this. I mean, I have told this, but I'm shaking. That when, I remember when the guy come up, I didn't know. I was aware that he exists, but he wasn't in my awareness. So when he come up to me, he went up like this in front of my face, and I got scared, and either my subconscious or my amygdala, trigger, the flight or fight. Well, that's where your fear center is. You trigger flight or fight. Should I, fight or whatever, or flight? And so it triggered, and I was like, usually when I do martial arts, usually when I show up with other people and then they say, oh, you don't know Kung Fu, and they want to fight me. That's when back in the day when I was 19. And so usually what I do is with people is I try to fight them, but I scare them, but not actually initially contact, because I don't want to harm others or to hurt any others. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm going to miss. I wanted to put an intention to miss on purpose. But what ended up happening is I launched the punch, right? I launched the punch, I thought it missed, but it connected with him. How did I feel? Did you think I deserved that? Or you think that he deserved that? Think about it for that moment. Because in your perspective, there's this disliking bias, right? In the Tyler Lopez also talking about this, liking, dislike. It's in the Charlie Munger book that cost me $67. Oftentimes, you say he deserved because you like me. And you probably hate him. And you say he deserved it. Think about that for a second. Oftentimes, when we don't like someone, we hate on them. They said, ha, ha, ha. We laugh at it. They deserve it. They did this wrong. They deserve it. Karma's a bitch. Think about it. Perspective. Turn around. Someone maybe, I never asked. I probably should ask. Someone probably told him to do it. I don't know. Maybe. But did he deserve that punch? No. He didn't deserve that punch. He didn't deserve to get punched and bleed. He didn't deserve that. But you guys think it is. Perspective. Perception. Because it's the liking and disliking bias that we have. Poor Charlie Munger, there was, poor Charlie Almanac. We all do this. We have this tendency to hate someone, or like, and we automatically think they're bad or good. Perception. But but in my head, I felt bad. And I had to apologize to him for a long time. And my ex was standing there, and she probably was scared, and I was scared. Because either I probably, like in my mind, I was like, oh shoot, like I probably gotta get kicked out of boarding school. I didn't want to because I did so good. And then there was this guy, he was like, yeah, man, you shouldn't mess with Johnny. And I was like, why is it? Oh. And so he go into the bathroom, and he was really leaking. And he was bleeding. I felt so bad. And then he went to the, I think, nurse or something. And he got 9 stitches or somewhere, I don't know. And I go, he's in the same dorm as I am, and I gotta apologize to him. But something interesting that I have experienced, ladies and gentlemen. This is why most people do lawsuits, or people, do bad stuff to people. It's people, man. At the end of the day, it's not natural laws. It's people. Because people have this emotion. Trust me. So, I remember, I think either it was night or I think it was noon or night. So there was a hill, and there was a bunch of people, and there was this guy. And he come up to me, and he said this to me. Wow, you did that to him? Yeah, he deserved it. Whoa! I'm here hurting inside, wishing that I wish that I have not done that. Right? Now it's in my subconscious mind for the rest of my life. The trigger. So, I remember I was sitting with my ex at night on the bench, and she said, don't do it ever again. I was so scared. I was scared of my fist. So, that's the story that I want to tell you. It originated from China. I said China. Correction. India. I found it very interesting in this one. Karma is the executed deed, work, or action, or act, also object, the intent. Karma. Karma also referred to a conceptual principle that originated in India, often described as called the principle of karma, sometimes karma, theory of law of karma. Right? So we should know that. Here we go. But I like to, hold on, The relationship karma is causality is a central motif in all schools of Hindu, Jain, and Buddhism thought. Let me see. Karmic principle can be understood, suggests Karl Potter, as principle of psychology and habit. Karma seeds habit, and habit create the nature of man. Karma also seeds self-perception, and perception influence how one experiences life events. Both habits and self-perception affects the course of one life. Breaking bad habits is not easy. It's required constant karmic effort. So I have to deal with the psyche. It's the human psyche. Oftentimes you see a lot of people do harm to others, punch, do a lot of things. Why? Because it's people. It's action. Action's real fast. Right? Cause and effect. You punch, fast. Good things take time. Great things take time. But oftentimes you notice bad things often happen real quick. Failure, mistakes. We've all been guilty of this. Right? And yes, I'm actually shaking because I believe that in my mind, karma does not exist because there's so many superstitions around breaking mirrors. My mom told me that if I break mirrors, I would get 7 years of bad luck. I broke 7. I mean, not 7. I broke like 2 of them. I didn't get bad luck, but it's because of my seeded thought, because of my mom's seeded thought into my subconscious, which control my action, my thought. It's, for example, I am consumed by this card game now. Oftentimes you don't know what this is, but I often put it in the video. I'm consumed by it. I live by it, thought by it, and guess what? I experience it. I go to play with my friends, duel them, and I play them. And oftentimes that's what you experience. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not the laws that cause. It's the people that cause harm to others. Subscribe to my channel, like my video, and I'll see you guys next time because I do interviews, book reviews. And I'll see you guys. Bye bye.